Well, we are here again. This is my quarantine diary entry number 2. So today I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about because like a lot of stuff has been on my heart and I feel like God's brought to my spirit, and I was like, I had to write a list so I could get through everything. So based on just like a conversation I had with my mom this morning, the first thing I really wanted to talk about that has really been like on my mind is that, so I really don't know if there's going to be like a cohesive point to this one, but I feel like when you write in your diary, there's never really a cohesive point. There's just things that have been in your head and now you want to put them on paper, and so I guess I just wanted to put it in a video. So I'm gonna go through my list. I was gonna try to like do it, but I'm gonna go through my list. So my number one thing I wanted to write about or talk about was, do you know who you are, and do you know the power that you have? So in my previous videos or whatever, I was talking about how, I've never really felt like super confident, things like that. But through this quarantine, like, I've just been thinking about all the amazing things that are within me and the things that like have nothing to do with me. Just thinking about my heritage and my people. I mean, being related to my mother and my father and my brother, just my immediate family, like that's such a powerful thing to like really know that you don't have to walk around in the world inferior to anybody, because you are just that powerful. Like, you are a beautiful and powerful being. Like, there is so much love and just kindness within me that is just admirable. It is such a beautiful thing to see. And like, when you get that type of spirit about yourself, because I used to always be like, dang, I don't understand how girls or anybody just be walking around thinking that they are just great. Like, they just know in their spirit that they are just great. And I'm just like, that's a beautiful thought, a beautiful way to walk through the world, just knowing that you within all your different variations of yourself, but that you are amazing. Like, you are really great. And to like take an assessment of everything that you have and that you own in your possession, and not own like material, but that your spirit, your character, your soul, that you own that, and that's powerful, and that makes you such a strong being. I don't know, man. That was really like getting me. And then also being black. Oh, I mean, just being a black person is so beautiful. Like, the heritage, the history, the culture that runs through my veins is just, there is no reason for anybody, me and my people, to walk around and fear like you are less than. Like, you are God's original people. Like, you are the source of everything. And that is just such a, man, that's a great feeling to have. So that's the first thing I want to touch on. We're going to go down the list, keep it short and simple, but that's a powerful thing. And I think that taking that out of quarantine is going to be a very pivotal thing in my life. This line by Kendrick Lamar, he said something in one of his songs about, I can't fake humble because you're insecure. And what I took from that line is not that Kendrick was saying like I'm big and I'm bad, because everybody needs to humble themselves, but I can't fake humble because you're insecure. I can't walk around like I'm small, like I'm insignificant. I can't walk around like I'm not amazing just because you want to be in your own stuff. Which brings me to my second point. I don't know if anybody's actually watched that fact that Aang the Last Airbender is on Netflix. If you haven't, pick it up in your spare time. But I just finished that season, the whole thing, like a couple of weeks ago. And the last episode I thought was just such a great metaphor for life. When Aang was going through and he was saying, everybody's like, bro, you got to kill the Fire Lord. Like, you got to kill him. Even me, I was on the screen like, just kill him. Like, there's no playing nice. Just kill him. And Aang was just like, I'm not going to do that. Like, that's not who I am. That's not what I want to be. And I there has to be another way. And so when he finally meets the tiger lion and the lion turtle. The lion turtle and the lion turtle saying that before we could bend the elements, we bended the energy within ourselves. And I was like, wait, that's so crazy to think that you have the power to bend the energy within yourself, that you have the power to be anything that you want to be, and that everything that you need is already inside you. This philosopher, I don't know if it was a philosopher, but somebody said this really crazy quote that he said, whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right. If you sit with that, whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right. And that everything that you need that's in your head already, that you can bend and shape and just within yourself, and that is powerful. And to think that Aang stood in himself when everybody around him was like, no, you have to do that. But he knew, he was like, this is not the person I want to be. You know, and even another thing that I thought that was really crazy about that episode was the tiger turtle was saying, the lion turtle was telling him, you know, in order to bend the energy in someone else, you have to make sure that you are fortified. And I was thinking that it's the same thing, like when you walk out, especially in my life, like I feel like one of the things that has always troubled me in my life is that I know the person that I want to be, but I have such a hard time trying to be that person when everybody around me is just, it seems like being who I want to be is not cool. It's not accepted. It's always challenged. Like, people who know me know that I am a very, and I hate to say it, but I am a soft soul. Like, I am a very soft person. I'm all about feelings and how do you feel? What do you connect with? Like, I'm all that. And sometimes I feel like being that vulnerable and that open leaves me open for so much attacks. But just like Aang, when it was like his people who loved him truly were like, you have to do this. He said, I don't. It's that I can be fortified enough within myself to say that I can bend the energy within myself to say that I'm fortified to know that this is what I want. This is the type of person I want to be. This is the way I want to live my life. And that's okay if you don't agree with it and you don't understand it. And I can just be at peace with that. And again, I feel like the entire lesson for this whole quarantine is about peace, it's about freedom, and it's about happiness. Those are the three main things that I feel like I've really just been on my mind this whole quarantine is peace, happiness, and freedom. And I'm like, just thinking about what Aang did in that show, that's a real freedom to know that I don't have to get anybody to understand this. I don't have to get anybody on my bandwagon, but I can know that I have the power, I have the energy to bend what is inside me. And the thing is, now this thing that I got, now the lion, tiger, and Aang are, they spiritual type beings. What I realized that I've been having a big mistake in my life, I've been trying to fix me, but also try to fix other people. I am not a spiritual being. I can't fix anybody. I don't have the power to bend energy in anybody else, but I do have the power to fortify myself enough so that when other people try to come at me with all kinds of stuff that I don't want, I can put myself in armor and I can feel confident and I can feel safe in the sense that who I am as a person is good. It's good enough just being the person that I am. That goes to a little praise report, you know what I'm saying? Always gotta have a praise report. That goes to a praise report that I feel as if I'm seeing God working. Because I think my mom was telling me this morning about, you know, people are always saying the saying about faith without works is dead. And I think that that's a real thing where you really have to, not only you can see what you want, but you have to really be like able to say, I'm gonna work at it and ask God to fix me. Because I can't fix other people. All I can do is say that, God, I want to be a better person. I want to be a good person. But I am not under the impression that I know how to do that. And I said in my prayer this morning, I said, God, help me to decrease my voice and amplify yours. Teach me how to be better, because left to my own accord, left to my own devices, ruin, destroy, like it would be bad. So just thinking about that. So like a praise report is I actually feel I can see the growth in myself, where from conversations with people that I've had, you know, in previous conversations with the same people, I've been so caught in my head about and going through this oh, what are they going to think about it? Do they think I'm this way? Do they think I'm too soft? Am I not like, you know, whatever? And in this moment, would still have these conversations with these same people, I felt so much peace and freedom just to be like, just be yourself, Andrea. Just be who you are. You are good enough just being who you are. Do you not know who you are? Like, do you not understand the power that you have inside you? Like, that is just, you are enough. Just when you wake up in the morning, you are enough. So that's another thing that I want to talk about. The another thing that I was going to say, that again, I think my mom has always been telling me about, but I really have started to see that by not understanding this thought, I was not letting myself be free. So one thing I had to realize about this quarantine is that, first of all, everybody is going through this quarantine and getting through this mess the best way they know how. And my mom was telling me, you know, and I've been realizing through conversations a lot, that people make it through the world the best they can. And as you become an adult, you realize that everyone is literally a big child. Like, you are a larger child. Like, we are all dealing with past trauma, past stuff that has affected us. And everybody is just getting through the world the best way they know how. And so my mom said such a beautiful thing to me that I think just really, again, freed me from so much anxiety and pressure, when she said, this is the example she gave me. She said, you know, I can't remember the example, but this is how she broke it down, right? She was like, if you go to McDonald's, right, and you try to order Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets, do you get mad at the McDonald's people because they don't have Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets? No. You can't be mad at somebody for something that they just don't have. This is an example that she gave me. She was like, when you're dealing with people and you're having your interactions with people, whether it's love, friendship, working, whatever, it's you put your cards on the table, they put their cards on the table, and if yours are not compatible, they don't align, pick your cards up and go. There's no need to fight back and forth with somebody about what's wrong with their cards, what's right about your cards. You don't have any ability to be the moral standard for anybody. You know what I'm saying? That's not your job as a human. That's not your job. You cannot say what's wrong, what's right about somebody else's life. If it does not work for you, if it does not serve you, get your stuff and just go. Another thing she said, people be trying to go back and forth. People can't argue by themselves. You can't play tennis by yourself. If you no longer want to engage with this, if you no longer want to be in this back and forth with somebody, stop. Just stop speaking. Stop engaging. And that, I don't even understand how to explain how just that thought of just saying that I don't have to be the person who says this is right or wrong, or that I'm right. Because God, I don't know. I'm making my way through the world the best way I know how. And also that made me think about people's history influences how they interact with you. Like, I was just thinking about, like, love and my friends. Like, there have been people I'm just like, I don't get why this person walks around with such, like, defensiveness. Like, they're just so defensive and hard about everything. And it's like, God was like, you need to listen. You need to stop trying to interact with people through the way you want to see them and see them for what they are. That person has been through real stuff that influences how they engage with everybody. And you, Andrea, you should be thankful that there are some things you cannot even fathom experiencing. So you can't say, I cannot say, oh, why can't they be what they should be? You don't know the life that they live. You don't know their experiences. And the same thing that I said in my previous diary entry is that all you can do is be a source of love. That all you can be is an embodiment of that. When you need me, I will be here for you. But I cannot fix you. And that's another thing that I want to say about how people always like, you know, this is going back to romantic stuff. They're like, you know, I got with this person and because I was with them, I changed. No. It's like, you can only change because you want to. I always thought about, like, if I ever got into a relationship with a guy, I never want that man to ever be like, I met her and that's when I changed. No, you didn't. Sir. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You changed because you wanted to. You saw that you wanted to grow. And I'm like, man, I think that's just such a loving feeling, like going to be with a man or be in a relationship and empower somebody in any relationship, empower them to know that you within yourself have the power to mold and bend the energy within you. And it wasn't me. It was not me. It was you. And I feel like that's the best thing about having a community of people who support you and are not looking for you to pat them on the back for doing that they are just here to amplify your voice. The voice that you have, everything that you need is already inside you, but sometimes you do need people to remind you, to lift you up and realize, to let you look at yourself in the mirror and say that everything you need and you want is already inside you. And the last thing I wanted to say that has always been a big thing for me that I realized that I make very anxiously, there's like attachment styles, and I think I took one of the tests and it said that I have an anxious attachment style, and this lighting is sucks. But anyways, the last thing is about my anxious attachment style, and I think, like I said, I touched on it on the previous video about how a lot of times I feel like I always have this fear that people are going to leave me and how, because I'm not good enough or whatever. But I realized through this time that, again, freeing myself from this mindset is that people who want to be with you, people who want to be in your life will just be there. There's nothing you do or don't do, what you say. Like, if people want to be in your life, if people want to support you, if people want to be a part of your community, if people want to be on a journey with you, they will be there. So free yourself from this feeling that you somehow are not enough. You are, and that is basically the ending of this. So dang, I always start with questions, so I guess my question is, do you know who you are? Do you know the power that you have?